As you guys know, I love a good hot take as much as the next guy. My channel is literally loaded with tons of them. A lot of times I'm rational, but I admit that sometimes I can be a bit reactionary. Like I said, I love a good hot take, but what I don't love are the hot takes and the disrespect that have been aimed at Russell Westbrook. If you ask me, there have been way too many times where people have just gone way too far. The way that people have slandered somebody who is gracefully going to walk into the Hall of Fame is alarming, if nothing else. We're talking about the guy that made the triple-double quote-unquote boring because he simply became too good at getting them. Whether we like it or not, Westbrook is a legend, and he's also one of the most exciting point guards that we've gotten to watch in our lifetime. February 8th, Russell Westbrook would find himself in Utah after the Jazz, Lakers, and Timberwolves executed a 3-team deal that would leave everybody wondering what the future held for him. This would turn into a really weird time period. There were reports that he hadn't ruled out playing for the Jazz, and of course there were also reports and speculation from notable media members that he might not find a team if he was bought out. As it turns out, those media members would be wrong, as shortly after Westbrook would be bought out by the Jazz, he would quickly sign with the Los Angeles Clippers for virtually nothing relative to the $47 million that he was owed this season, and we have to talk about that. But first, at the end of the day, who doesn't want to wake up healthy with good digestion, good hair, good energy, and feel ready to go? I mean, come on, that sounds amazing, right? While we all know how important it is to support our immune system and our personal well-being in general, we also know how time-consuming doing so can be. Well, this is where AG1 by Athletic Greens comes in, as it supports all of the good things that I mentioned while barely using up any of your very valuable time. AG1 might actually be one of the healthiest things that you can do in less than a minute. Guys, one scoop of AG1 by Athletic Greens is not only giving you all of your daily nutrient requirements, but it's also giving you a peace of mind. So instead of worrying about this long list of supplements to support the lifestyle that you want, you could just drink AG1, which is effortless, made from the highest quality ingredients, and best of all, tastes great while enabling you to feel even better. Since I've started drinking AG1, I've just fallen in love with the taste, and I think that you guys will too. AG1 is fantastic for anybody who is trying to improve their health. And if you order now, you can get a 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D3K2 and 5 travel packs free with your first purchase. All you have to do is click the link down in the description below. I want to give a huge shout out to Athletic Greens for supporting today's content. I might be in the minority here, but I thought that Westbrook on the Jazz could have been pretty fun, as the Jazz could desperately use a dynamic playmaker. But looking at the standings at the time that I'm making this video, I could see how him playing in Utah could be a conflict of interest. Go ahead and call me paranoid if you want to, but that's not going to stop me from feeling like I really need to trade Larry Markkinen in fantasy basketball before he's out all season with a sprained ankle that he suffered walking to the bench. I know that Danny Ainge has said that he doesn't want to tank, but you could never be too safe when the prize is Victor Wembanyama. I kid you not, Wemby flat out has owners out here saying that they are praying for him. Though Westbrook in Utah would have been interesting, at least to me, I don't really think he's too mad at staying in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I think that's a huge part, man, for anybody, any normal human being in any situation in the workplace, and somebody that a lot of teammates and people that want you here is very important. To me, I value that a lot. Just I've been in this league a long time and being somewhere that people want you and they embrace you, and that meant a lot to me. So,
guys, I strongly recommend you to check out Tomer Azerly and Clutch Points on Twitter if you haven't already. Azerly is a Clippers content goldmine, and Clutch Points is just a really good follow in general. To talk a little about this clip, Westbrook was smiling throughout the entire press conference. I legit think that he was actually glowing. Westbrook said just being somewhere that people want you and they embrace you means a lot to me. Let's be real, Westbrook's time in Los Angeles sucked, and I mean that for both parties. While I can admit that Westbrook isn't above criticism and struggled from time to time with the Lakers, I can also admit that there were a lot of times where he was used as a scapegoat, And even when he got love most of the time, it felt like it was fake and it was just as if everybody was waiting for another screw up. Now, I'm not speaking about all fans when I say that, but the ones that I'm speaking about will know that I'm speaking about them. Again, I'll never be mad at anybody for criticizing a player's play. That comes with the territory. But I do think that things like this became all too common during Westbrook's time with the Los Angeles Lakers.
And as one source told me, you remove a vampire from the locker room. That meaning a vampire sucks the blood out of the locker room. Russell Westbrook moves on.
This would make a lot of people mad, including Westbrook's wife, who would say that, and I quote, "This is just sick, ESPN. Russell is no vampire. This is also slander because anyone who knows anything knows that this couldn't be further from the truth. On a personal note, I have school-aged children who have to listen to their peers repeat the nasty things that you guys say on television about their father. I guess I will prepare myself to explain to my 5-year-old that his dad is actually not a vampire and that major news outlets only say things that get attention." End quote. Donovan Mitchell wouldn't like this. He would join in saying, "Stop it." Carmelo Anthony rightfully asked for the source, and Chris Paul said put a name on it because basically, a name does need to be put on something like this. Anonymous sources are always out here saying the dumbest things. Russell Westbrook is a lot of things, but we don't have to paint the picture that he's been a bad teammate just because things didn't work out in Los Angeles.
Coach for that time?
Or just what do you think he'll bring to that game?
I'm not part of that team. I have no idea what their locker room is like, what their chemistry is like.
On the court.
Honestly, I don't really watch the Clippers like that.
That's alright, AD. I'm sure Paul George knows exactly what he's capable of as he's had his best season alongside him. There's a reason that Paul George and the Clippers were rolling out the red carpet for Russ, and that's because they know exactly how valuable getting a dynamic playmaker like him mid-season can be. It's not every day that you can find 15.9 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 7.5 assists for nothing. Now, I don't want to act like Westbrook is perfect because I do admit I'm gassing a bit. He does come with some flaws. But just check this out. According to Steph No, this season, the Clippers have been 20th in drives per game, 18th in assists, and they are the 21st ranked offense, which of course has gotten better as they've gotten healthier. Now guys, what is Russell Westbrook good at? Well, he's really good at putting pressure on the rim, ranking 12th in drives per game, and he's also really good at that thing where he finds the open player. Sure, you'll get the occasional unwarranted mid-range jumper or drive that will make you want to rip the hair out of your head, but if you ask me, the upside outweighs the risk as there really isn't much there in my opinion. You got this guy for nothing. What's the worst that happens? You cut him late season if things don't work out? Before the revelation that has been Terrence Mann, the Clippers point guards were Reggie Jackson and John Wall, who to be fair, really aren't bad players. They're just not exactly what the Clippers were looking for at this time. Which, by the way, fortunately for Clippers fans, Mann is a really good versatile chess piece, and Lawrence Frank doesn't view Westbrook and Mann as competition for each other. But then again, Ty Lue did basically say that he's really not sure how the minutes are going to shake out over time, so time will tell. Man, if I'm Russell Westbrook, I'm playing my heart out for the Clippers for multiple reasons. One of them being what they did to John Wall, sending him back to Houston after what he said in that wild interview where he basically tried the accountability of the entire Rockets franchise. I know that John Wall would get bought out shortly after the trade, but just seeing that headline was nasty to me. John Wall probably saw that John Wall was being traded on his phone that day and couldn't believe that he was going back to Houston. That's the type of stuff that I'd fire my agent for even telling me. From a basketball standpoint, I think this risk from the Clippers is being overblown. Yeah, the Clippers have been playing some good basketball since mid-January with their stars returning to form, but my question is, what happens when those stars go out again? The duo of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George have played in 108 games together since the start of the 2019 season. You see, even if Westbrook only becomes a temporary regular season spark plug for this team that doesn't miss games while helping lead them to the occasional win, keeping the offense afloat, that's incredibly valuable to have, especially for this team. Yeah, even if you're not playing him consistently and he's only there for emergencies, that's a nice option to have on your bench. Westbrook really doesn't miss a lot of games. Honestly, if Westbrook contributes in any way for this team, then this move is a W. The biggest problem for the Lakers was that his contract was weighing down the team and really putting them in a tough position cap-wise. To me, if you trust your front office and you trust Ty Lue, then this move is risk-free. Which, speaking of Ty, apparently he wants Russ to be Russ. Quote, "If he's doing too much or not enough, I'll let him know. We want him to be the MVP Hall of Famer that he is. We just got to make sure it's in the confines of our team. He's excited. He just wants to win." Unquote. With the Clippers being 5th in three-point shooting at 37.8%, and with Ty Lue showing the willingness to go small and be creative in the past, I'm more than positive that he'll be able to get some good minutes out of Russ, even if the start is a little bumpy. Russ actually has a few of those small ball Rockets guys on his roster. Rockets Russ was one of my favorite versions of Westbrook, regardless of how it ended. Really, my question for Russ is, what is his role going to be, not immediately, but for the foreseeable future? What are we going to see when the playoffs roll around? Is he going to be on the bench? Are teams going to be daring him to shoot that sub 30% from three that he's been shooting? Regardless, I'm excited to see the Clippers and all of their new additions hoop at a high level. Remember, guys, this team also just acquired Bones Highland, Mason Plumlee, and Eric Gordon. We've been talking a lot about the Suns, but personally, I'm terrified of this Clippers team if they're able to have just okay health. This is a team that I was hyping up before the season for a reason, and I still really want them to get a ring. Here's to hoping that Russ and his energy are appreciated with the Clippers. Remember those reports that Kawhi wanted the Clippers to acquire a point guard? Well, they got one, and his name is Russell Westbrook. Let me know what you guys think of everything down in the comments below. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm GetLikeCoop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.